Hello, welcome to the new style GCSEs. These are the ones that go from grade 9 to grade 1. This is the third paper in the higher tier of the AQA 8300 series. This is the introductory video, just basically giving some general exam advice. The first thing you'll come across in your exam when you come into your exam hall is this front of this paper here, and it's so easy to just go through the motions because you've been revising for your exams for ages. You've got your formulas in your head, buzzing around your head. You've probably even tried to be making use of your short-term memory with little cue cards with little bits of formulas on and information on, and you're just raring to go and you're full of adrenaline and you just want to get in there and start answering the questions. Please do take your seat, take a breath, have a look at the front of the paper and check this box carefully. It says, please write clearly in block capitals, centre number, candidate number, surname, forename, candidate signature. It might already be filled in, but do check that information carefully. If it's filled in wrong, then all of your hard work is for nothing, because the examiners won't be able to match you up to your hard work. So this is so important. If it's filled in already, do check that it's filled in correctly, and if it's not filled in, do take the time to fill it in. That's the one question on the exam that will cause 0 marks. If you get this question wrong, you will lose your entire exam. Okay, so the instruction says for this paper you must have a calculator and some mathematical instruments. Now when it says a calculator, it means a scientific calculator, one that's got sine, cosine and tan functions and stuff. I strongly recommend you take your own calculator that you have practiced with. There's nothing worse on an exam than trying to turn it on and finding that it's a bit sluggish, it's not working because the batteries aren't working very well, or that you've got this new calculator in your hands and you have no idea where the buttons are. You can save a lot of time if you already know where the buttons are and if you know the quirks and foibles of that particular calculator. Okay, you'll also need mathematical instruments, by which they usually mean a ruler, a protractor and a compass. For instructions it says use black ink or black ballpoint pen, draw diagrams in pencil. The black ink bit is really important because a lot of photocopiers and scanners can't read blue ink. It's just invisible to them. So when they come to scan your exams and send that off to the examiner just sees a blank page, so then the examiner can't mark your work. It says answer all questions, but I would take that with a pinch of salt. All questions will carry marks, but if you don't know the answer to a question, don't spend time agonizing over something you can't do. Just move on to the next question, answer as many questions as you can answer, and then come back to the ones you can't answer if there's time at the end. You must answer the questions in the spaces provided. Do not write outside the box, around each page or blank pages. That's pretty much the same as using black ink. There's only certain areas that are scanned. You write outside that area, it might not be scanned and it might not be marked. Do all rough work in this book, cross through any work you don't want to be marked. You do get marks for your working out, so it is important that you show you're working out. Information says the marks for questions are shown in brackets. The maximum mark for this paper is 80. Now you're given 1 hour and 30 minutes, which is the same as 90 minutes. So if you're given 90 minutes and the maximum mark for this paper is 80, then I'd probably recommend budgeting around 1 minute for each mark, and that should give you 10 minutes left over at the end of the paper to go back and check your work. You may ask for more answer paper, graph paper and tracing paper. These must be tagged securely to this answer book. In all calculations, show clearly how you worked out your answer. Okay, that's really good advice because you do get marked for your working out. The only other piece of advice I'd like to give people is to do make sure you go to the toilet before your exam. Again, in the stress of the exams, it's easy to forget. Halfway through the exam, you need the toilet. You are allowed to go to the toilet during an exam, but they don't award you any extra time, and therefore you lose marks because time means marks. Okay, so we'll pick up on the actual questions in the next video. If you're taking your GCSEs this year, I'd like to wish you every success with your revision and every success with your exams, and I look forward to seeing you in another video.